Okay, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing today? Let me just get Twitter up. Everything sorted. Get that all sorted. Okay, I think we're good to go. We are. I believe. Let me just... Okay. Good morning, Ash. How you doing, man? DS Kurd, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Welcome on in to the Game Week 2 deadline stream. It's an early one. It's an early start, 9:30 AM. Hope we're doing well. Connor, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, mate. Hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. Thought yesterday was Saturday. You made your transfer yesterday itself. I made my transfer on Tuesday, Wednesday. What was your transfer? Hope you're doing well though, Avez. Shid, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Alan's a red. How you doing? Adebayo, how you doing? Couldn't transfer Kwanzaa. I transferred me to Robinson. Yeah, that was that would have been the situation I would have been in as well if I didn't go with Kwanzaa early. Yeah, because I mean, Ben Mee, I've kind of dug myself a hole as well because I didn't think Ben Mee was a rotation risk, but I really need him to start against Liverpool because I really want him for Southampton in game week 3. So I really need him to start against Liverpool, but I feel like he's a bit of a rotation risk now, so I may even have to get rid of him next week. Callum, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. No, definitely not, Ash. Definitely not. But yeah, there's a lot of... it's a bit of a crazy week, to be fair. Kwanzaa injury. Solanke injury. Porro's fine now. Obviously, triple captain's been thrown around a lot as well. It's a bit of a hectic week. But I think I'm okay. I think I'm set up very well. I just need to know whether I'm going to play on Nkunku or Smith Rowe. That's the only kind of last arrow in the quiver that I need to kind of sort out. Mark, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, get your questions in chat if you need any kind of assistance. I'll do my best to help with those decisions and stuff. But yeah, a lot of people did want to roll this week, myself included, but we've just not been able to. So, am I using the triple captainship? I'm not going to do it. I'm always a fan of a double game with triple captaincy, but I don't mind it this week. The only issue is obviously they don't have Rodri, so City aren't really like fully up to speed. But I don't mind it. It's one of those things though. If you use it and he flops, you got to go another 36 game weeks without your triple captaincy chip. So it does leave a bit of an effect, but. Best 5 mil defender replacements. For who? Who are you getting rid of for 5 mil? Are you going to start posting on Twitter? I am going to start posting on Twitter, yeah. I need to be a lot more active on Twitter and stuff. I'm going to be a lot more active. This game week, you know, will be a lot more active and stuff, so. No worries, Ash. See you later, man. Nkunku or Garnacho to start. I think I'd back... I think I'd back Nkunku to start... I think I back them both to start. It's just which is the better option, really. You've got Nkunku, who's got Wolves, and then Garnacho's got, what, Brighton? So, Nkunku did play 58 midweek, but he should still start. It's just, the only reason I'm not starting him, potentially, is just I'm worried about that pre-60 sub, man. It breaks you, man. Like, 1 point, it's just not good enough, man. It's not good enough. What would you play out of Kwanzaa? I mean, I feel like Fairs probably has the better clean sheet potential mark, but I don't think either of them are going to keep a clean sheet this week. But you never know. I mean, it is... I'd probably start Kwanzaa. You know, it's at home. they do have an okay record against Arsenal as well. They did beat them last season. So I'd probably start Konza. He's just in a much better team. And yeah, they're playing the better team, but it is at home, so they might concede less. I don't know. I feel like that might be a bit of a cagey game. I transferred Saliba out for Gvardiol. I'm regretting it now. I mean, it's not a terrible transfer. I feel like it's a bit more of a luxury transfer, though, because obviously you probably wouldn't mind Saliba like next week when they have Brighton. But yeah, I mean, Gvardiol's got Ipswich at home, so there's not a better fixture, really. I couldn't transfer Kwanzaa to Robinson. I transferred Konza to Robinson. Yeah, I'm surprised Robinson didn't go up in price, to be fair. A lot of people would have been transferring him in this week. Replacing Chilwell, Cucurella, or Kanate. I feel like Kanate is a little bit more of a minutes risk, just simply because Kwanzaa obviously can play there. I mean, I wouldn't really want to own either Kwanzaa or Kanate. I'd probably go Cucurella over him. I feel like Colwell's a much safer Chelsea option, but yeah, with Chilwell obviously, yeah, basically not playing for Chelsea anymore. It's probably Cucurella's spot to lose, isn't it? So, what do I do with Barco? He's not really an issue at the moment. He won't go down in price. It is locked. So, it's not like you were going to be playing him much regardless anyway until like game week 4 or 5. So, you probably just do the same thing that you were going to do and then obviously just get rid of him on like a wild card. He's just a bit of dead wood. Like, he's not going to go down in price. So, he's not going to lose you any money. So, don't worry about that. It's not like the Kwanzaa situation where you kind of had to get rid of him because of the price drop. He's just locked. So, as soon as you can get rid of him, like on a wild card or something, then obviously just do it then. Good replacement for Eze. Why do you want to replace Eze? Pete, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Why not posting any updates on X? I will be starting to post updates on X now. I'm going to be a lot more active on X. You're going to triple captain Haaland? Not this week, no. I think he's a good shout this week, obviously. But it's just... The main reason, obviously, Rodri's not playing, and if he bottles it and doesn't get anything, I don't really want to go 36 game weeks without my triple captaincy chip. So he could go mad and get like a hat trick. And if you triple captain him on fair play, I just prefer double game weeks for triple captaincy. Just because you have 2 of everything. You know, you've got 2 starts, 180 minutes, hopefully. Thoughts on Son to Foden / De Bruyne? If yes, whom do you think is better between Foden and De Bruyne? I mean, I probably wouldn't get rid of Son this week. He's got Everton at home, and you know, just because they don't have Solanke doesn't really matter. Like, Solanke's only played 1 game for Spurs. You know, Richarlison will probably just start down the middle. I wouldn't get rid of Son this week for Foden or De Bruyne, because I mean, De Bruyne is probably more likely to start than Foden, but yeah, the fixture's great. But I feel like, is there no other issues in your team that, like, do you not own Kwanzaa or Solanke or you know, someone like Barker or something like that? Thoughts on bench boost of Nkunku, Robinson, and Hordbellis? Happy with my starting 11. It's not a terrible bench boost, really. And you got to think, we're only guaranteed like 2 double game weeks this year. Obviously, there might be more, but we've got multiple chips to use on only 2 double game weeks. So you may have to use a chip on a single game week. And I mean, if your bench is, I mean, that's a decent bench, to be fair. It's not terrible. It might be in a better position later on after a wild card. Like, sometimes when you wild card, you can usually make a better bench for a bench boost. But yeah, I mean, it should get you a few points. But what happens if, like, Nkunku gets benched, Robinson concedes, and then obviously Howard Bellis doesn't play well, and obviously you don't have the goalkeeper as well. Bench Nkunku or João Pedro? I'd probably bench. No, Pedro's on penalties, and he should start against United. Obviously, the harder fixture. I'd probably play João Pedro, to be fair. How come when one of my players goes up in price, it says normally price, but when someone goes low, we lose a 0.1? Because they have to go. They have to get 2 price rises for you to be able to sell them for a bit more. So obviously, Diogo Jota's gone up to whatever 7.6, 8.1, whatever it is. He'll have to go up again for me to then make money. But if they drop down once in price, you'll lose it straight away. So, yeah, it's harder to make money than it is, obviously, to lose money. Watkins or Jackson for Solanke? Watkins or Jackson for... I mean, I'd probably just bench... What's your bench saying? I'd probably just bench Solanke this week and then bring Watkins in next week. Because, I mean, he's got Arsenal at home, which isn't the greatest fixture. I appreciate that, Ali. Thank you very, very much, man. Is Ahmad really out because of... I've not seen anything about that FPL Diamond. Let me refresh Twitter. I mean, we should hopefully get some early team news for United again. But I have no idea if that's the question. I don't have a clue about that. Good morning. Is Henderson out? Is Henderson out? I bloody hope not. Where is this information coming from? Are these just like Twitter rumors like circulating and stuff? Because You know, it was circulating the other day that Robinson was out with a wrist injury, which wasn't true. Start on Nkunku or Smith Rowe. I'm going Smith Rowe, but I think it's very, very even. You know, I think it's very, very even. Bench Smith Rowe, Murphy, Wood, or Nkunku. How do you have... Wait, what, one of them out of those? I use the free hit to get Haaland. Is that a massive mistake considering double and blank game weeks? I mean, the thing is, obviously, you would have started the season without Haaland, and going into game week 1, you would have known that you wouldn't have had Haaland for game week 2. So it's one of those situations where, like, you kind of made your bet. Like, you probably had a really good game week 1. Like, you probably had Salah, maybe Trent as well, maybe Arsenal defense, something like that. So you probably had a really good game week 1. So, but it's one of those situations like most people either chose Salah for game week 1 or Haaland for game week 2. Obviously, some people got both, but the rest of the team isn't as good. So it's one of those, like, obviously I had to deal with no Salah last week, which is why my rank's not good. But now I've got Haaland this week. So it's one of those, like, you had to choose, really. Smith Rowe hopefully gets us a goal. Fingers crossed, yeah, man. I just don't really want to be... Like, I know Smith Rowe should play over 60. Whereas Nkunku, obviously, he played midweek. He's been hooked twice. He's played twice this season. He's been hooked before 60 twice this season. If that happens again... he becomes a lot more of a risk. Like, I'm not completely worried about him right now, but he definitely can be a risk if he goes off before 60 AM. I might also triple Fulham. Good idea. Robinson, ESR, and Muniz. Also triple Captain Haaland this week, or wait till the double game week. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. I'm playing triple Fulham this week. Most likely, unless we get some sort of early team news about Fulham, which we might. I mean, they kick off at what, like, I think they kick off at 3, don't they? I'll just be playing those. And yeah, I mean, it's not a bad fixture. Leicester at home's a great fixture for Fulham. I mean, triple captaining Haaland this week is completely down to you. I mean, it's a good game week to triple captain him. You know, I always prefer double game weeks. And obviously, if it goes wrong, you have to deal with it for another 36 game weeks. But I personally like double game weeks, but I don't mind it. If you back him this week and you think he's gonna bag, which you probably will, go for it, man. I have no issues and I don't have Haaland. So what, are you rolling the transfer this week then? Is it worth transferring Kwanzaa if my starting defense is Trent, Hall, and Robinson? No, you don't really need to. Like, he probably won't go down in price again for probably till next deadline, maybe. So, I mean, if you have, like... The only reason I got rid of Kwanzaa early was because I didn't have any of the defense. I had Trent, Kwanzaa, I had Trent, Kwanzaa, Porro, me, and Johnson. So, Johnson's playing City away. Ben Mee might not have played. And then, obviously, Porro was injured. He's luckily not now. And then I had Kwanzaa and Trent. So, I only had really 2 playing defenders. So, I had to get rid of him. Whereas you've already got a... I mean, that back line's fine, so you don't need to get rid of him. It'd just be a waste of a transfer. What would you recommend for Kwanzaa after forgot to transfer? I'm assuming you have nothing in the bank, so you can only bring in a 4 mil defender, right? Because there's not many good options right now. What's your bench like? Can you not play anybody else? Rico Lewis or Robinson for this week? I'd go Robinson. I feel like if you bring in Rico Lewis, like, yeah, Ipswich at home's a great fixture, but I think you're just kind of backing yourself into a corner again of having a player that's might be a bit of a bench rotation, just like Kwanzaa is. Hope someone in my mini league triple captains Haaland and he blanks. That would be so funny. For anyone who doesn't have Haaland, Salah, or Son, who would you captain? Well, what's the rest of your team? Surely you have like a pretty good premium. If you have none of those, like who else do you even have? Like, do you have Cole Palmer maybe? And yeah, I've got Ben Mee like you. Oh, okay. To be fair, I'd probably get rid of Ben Mee over Kwanzaa because at least Ben Mee will get you a different 4.5 mil defender. Is Jackson a minutes risk? I mean, I feel like all the Chelsea forwards, apart from Cole Palmer, are a bit of a minutes risk. They have so many forwards, you know. So, new Brighton left back was superb in the Euros. I wouldn't jump on him right now, Hussein. I'd wait a little bit. With new signings, I would never like go straight for him, unless it's somebody like Solanke, obviously, who you know is proven in the Prem and stuff like that. I feel like give him a few weeks if he's starting, you know. Both games, then that's obviously great. Because you don't know if he's going to be like a rotation risk or something like that. Nkunku or Garnacho? I'd probably back Nkunku, but it's close. Gordon or Eze? I prefer Eze this week. I mean, Eze was unlucky last week. He scored a free kick. It should have counted. The official said it should have counted in the end. So I think all of the Eze owners were very unlucky. I didn't watch the Newcastle game, so I don't know what Gordon was really doing. But yeah, I think I much prefer Eze for Gordon at the moment. Best 6 million midfielder. Best 6 million midfielder. I mean, let's take a look at the prices. What are we looking at? Best 6 million midfielder. It's an interesting price point. There's not really. I mean, you're probably looking at somebody for 5.5, like Ramsey or Minty or something like that. Smith Rowe. That's probably where you're looking at. I mean, there's not really any decent 6 mil midfielders, but yeah, 5.5. There's a few good ones, and you'll save 0.5 as well, which can always be very useful. Porro, Nkunku, Hall can only start to who to start. I definitely start Porro. Hall with Southampton. I always prefer playing midfielders over defenders, so I probably play Nkunku, but he is obviously a bit of a minutes risk. Try to stream every game week before the deadline. Yeah, no, I'm going to be doing that this year. Don't worry, I'm going to be streaming every deadline, or I'm going to try to stream every deadline stream before the game week this year. Yeah, right. Captain options are Muniz, Wood, Palmer, Isak, Saka, Diogo Jota. I mean, probably Palmer. Probably just captain Palmer. He's on penalties. I mean, so is Saka, but he's got Villa away. Do we know what game weeks the double and blank game weeks will be on? I don't think they're confirmed yet, but obviously they're because we don't know who's going to be in the double game week, so it all depends on like different results and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it won't be. You won't have to worry about that for a while. You don't have to worry about that for a while. Make sure to leave a like as well, guys, if you are brand new and you do want to stop around for more content. I try and get a lot of FPL content up during the week, so if it tickles your fancy, it sounds good, make sure to subscribe. And also leave a like as well. Really appreciate it. You remind me of Chris MD. I get that a lot. I don't see it personally, but I get that so much. Anyway, start Muniz or Havertz. What are your other options? I'd like to start both of them this week, to be fair. What are your other options? I'm assuming your other striker is... Are you playing 5 midfielders? 4 defenders? I'd rather start both of them, to be fair. They're both good options. Surely there's someone else in your team that's not as good as them. Like, if you're playing 4 at the back, I'd just drop a defender for them. Yeah, I mean, anything kicks. I'm gonna wait a little bit to see what the situation is with him. But yeah, it could be good. Didn't Palmer catch an injury on the Conference League game the other night? Yeah, I mean, apparently he like felt something in his hamstring, but he said that he was fine. They checked him, he said he was fine, and the manager said that he should be fine to play. So, I mean, from what everybody said, he's fine. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, I'd still back him to play. Like everything was positive about it. Like yeah, he was holding his hamstring, but apparently he was absolutely fine. So like I say, I don't own him, but I'd definitely be starting him still. Yeah. I'm assuming that's Kwanzaa and Barco as 2 subs. Should I bring another sub in or just leave it? Winks is my 3rd. I mean, if you don't need to make it... Like, the only way I would make a transfer this week is if I didn't have, like, 11 starting players. If you have 11 starting, then just roll the transfer. Because it's going to be much more useful, like, next week. Burn or Lewis? I'd probably go Hall, to be fair. Hall, I think, is the better option. I mean, it depends. Like, it looks... I mean, I'd go Livramento. It doesn't look like Trippier is going to be... It doesn't look like Trippier is going to be playing for Newcastle again this season. Start Wood or Garnacho? Probably Wood, to be fair. Probably Wood. Wood or Muniz for this week? I'd back Muniz just because it's the home fixture. They're both against promoted teams. So yeah, I'd back Muniz this week. Went for a punt for Lindstrom from Everton. Didn't play and has gone down in price, but could have potential if he plays. Any news on Alanga? He is flagged. The manager said he should be fine. But obviously, that's just him saying that. I mean, he should be fine, but just checking if there's any early team news right now. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Excellent, and thanks. No worries, man. Do you watch any other FPL YouTubers? I mean, I watched Andy a lot, obviously, as we all have. But yeah, not really anyone else. Start Rodgers or hold about this? I think that's just a coin flip, to be fair. I'd probably just start Rodgers, and just because it's the home fixture and he's in a better team, maybe. Formation 3-5-2. Start Muniz over Havertz. Goalkeeper Raya. Defense Munoz, Kwanzaa, Robinson. I mean, I'd definitely be starting somebody over Kwanzaa. because Kwanzaa's probably not going to play. Isaac Havertz bench. That's a tough one, man. I mean, I definitely would I'd definitely bench Kwanzaa for Mikolenko. God, Muniz or Havertz. I'd probably go with Muniz just because it's a really nice fixture. But that's yeah, I have no idea, man. That's tough. But yeah, I'd probably go with Muniz. Start 2, bench 1. Watkins, Hall, and Kunku. I'd probably start. I'd probably Watkins. I mean, what's your formation? If it's already 3 at the back without Hall, I'd start Watkins and Kunku. Do I have a goal for FPL this season rank? Just top 10k, I'd say. I got 500th in the world last season. My history's not been too bad. It's been pretty good. I finished 561st last season, 764th in 2021. So yeah, that's how I finished the last five seasons. So it's not been too bad. Two top 1k finishes, 4 top 100k finishes. So I'd like to get top 10k. That's always the kind of target, but we'll see. Is Rodgers enough cover for injured Solanke, or do I have to take a hit for Muniz? I probably wouldn't take a hit for Solanke this week. Do you reckon we're going to get more clean sheets this week? So surprising how much happened last week. I mean, there's a lot of really nice home fixtures. Like, obviously, Trent, who's got Brentford. Obviously, a City defence that's got Ipswich. I mean, Newcastle look like they've got a good defence this week. I mean, Crystal Palace look okay. Spurs defence is obviously all over the place. But, yeah, I mean, there could be a few. I expect all the big teams to do well this week. So I just joined recently. What team do I support? I support Forest. I'm from Nottingham, so, yeah, I support Forest. Brereton Diaz, or do I start over Smith Rowe? I'd back Smith Rowe this week. Cheers, mate. I know it's tough. Game week 2 and already have chronic headaches. Yeah, mate, myself included. I've got Ben Mee and Nkunku. That's an issue. It's annoying. Really worries me with only one City and Arsenal. As in my team or your team? I'm in the same boat. Yeah, I mean, I've got no Arsenal or City defense. I don't really need City. I mean, I don't need Arsenal defense this week, and that's why I didn't go with any on the Game Week 1 draft, just simply because they've got really tough fixtures Game Week 4 and 5. And I think I would have just preferred different players. I prefer Trent just because the fixtures were a lot better. Do I think Kwanzaa might play? I don't think he will play, no. I mean, he obviously was injured, and then the manager came out and said that he hadn't trained and stuff. And when you've got Konate, who's fine to play, I just don't know why he would start Kwanzaa over him. Wood or Morgan Gibbs-White? I prefer Gibbs-White. You know, he's on penalties. He's our talisman. I mean, Wood literally had 1 shot last week and scored. You know, as a Forest fan, obviously, I'm happy about it, but he's not, and that does obviously scream clinical, but he's not very clinical. That's the problem. I'm very much wanting a new striker because I just don't. He's done well for us, but like he's just so unpredictable. He can go and score a hat-trick against Newcastle, and then he'll go and miss like 2-yard sitters, and it's just that's the issue with him. You know, he's just not. I don't back him that much, which is why I went Muniz over him. But so far, obviously, he's outscored Muniz, but it is what it is. Start Rashford for Brighton away or Gordon with Bournemouth away? I'd probably back Bournemouth away for Gordon. So start Hall or Watkins. With Hall, it would be 4-4-2. With Watkins, 3-4-3. I'd always back a forward over a defender, because especially this season as well, where if they concede, then the bonus points just aren't really that good for them. What wingers do you think will start for United later? I don't know. I mean, we should get early team news because they are obviously the early kickoff. Nothing. Oh, Muniz did go up in price last night. So did Chris Wood as well. I was going to say I thought they would. But yeah, nothing. No team leaks yet. Rice or Rodgers? Probably. Probably Rice. I probably would never have Rice in my team though. Best defender to bring in 5.5 mil or under, not Robinson. Best 5 point, probably Diaz from City. They've got Ipswich at home this week. Is Udogie a better pick if you can't afford Porro? I would only go for Porro from the Spurs defence. I wouldn't go anywhere near them if it wasn't for Porro. If you have the money, I'd go for somebody else, definitely. Raya or Henderson? I mean, this week? Probably Raya still. I mean, the Arsenal defence is the best in the league. My opinion on triple captaining Haaland. I think it's a decent shout this week. I always prefer doing double game weeks, but it's definitely not a bad shout. I think he could go big. You know, he does like scoring against promoted teams. I mean, he's never scored against Ipswich, but yeah, no, I don't mind him as a triple captain this week. I just don't like the idea of if he blanks going 36 game weeks without my triple captaincy chip. I'd hate it. Hey mate, join me in triple captain Haaland. This is an invitation. Don't be chaffed once. All jokes as always, mate. I can't. No, because it's the emotional damage it'll do if he doesn't do anything. If he gets a 6-pointer, that's it. 36 game weeks. Lost my triple captaincy chip. I always back the double game week. It is, but he could go out and score 4. You know, you don't know. Should I risk on Garnacho and sell Jota for buying better players for the position? I wouldn't sell Jota this week. No, definitely not. I mean, Nunes didn't even get on the pitch last week, so. I have Nick Pope in goal. He got me 9 points. What do you think of him? Yeah, he's a decent option. Newcastle defense look pretty good, especially if they sign Gay, which I don't know what the latest is on that, but if they sign Gay, then yeah, I think they're looking really good. Would I start Bailey or Watkins this week? Watkins. Would start Watkins this week for sure. For sure. Well, I don't think you need to sell Mikolenko for Robinson this week. Will Charlie Taylor start this game week? I couldn't say. Well, I don't even know if. What did he play last week? Let me have a look. I mean, there's not a lot of evidence to go on, is there? Is there no other option? You got no other options to play? Not use your transfer, no? I understand it, man. I never triple captain in a single game week, but we only have 2 double game weeks. One will be used for bench boost, and we'll have a mystery chip and can even free hit in double game weeks. Yeah, I mean, it's look, you're talking sense. You really are. I always just go for the double game week. It's just mathematically a better option, but hey. He could bang today. He could bang this weekend. You never know. Can you please check my team? Raya, White, Musroy, Lewis, Salah, Jota, Eze, Kudus, Haaland, and Isaac and Pedro. Please, I want to know what transfer is the best. I mean, I don't think you need to make a transfer this week. Like who? Like why? Who would you bring in? I don't think you need to make a transfer this week. Do I think United will get top 4? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. As you are a Forest fan, when do you reckon Wood will lose his spot? Whenever we bring in a bloody striker, I mean, Awoniyi is a much better striker. He's just so injury prone. But obviously, there's 2 strikers, including Nketiah, that would be kind of sniffing around. So I think as soon as we bring in another striker, I think his spot will probably be a little bit up for grabs. You have 2 transfers and 0 in the bank. Wait, how do you have 2 transfers? You can't have 2 transfers. It's the second game week. Start Watkins or Nkunku? Probably probably Watkins. I mean, Wolves away, I feel like isn't an easy fixture, you know, and especially for Nkunku, who this is just why I'm benching him. It's not the easiest fixture on paper, and you know, as well as that, he's not guaranteed to start, and also if he does start, he might get hooked before 60. So you have 1 transfer and 0 in the bank, right? Okay. I mean. It's always nice to roll for game week 2, but if you want to strengthen your team, then you obviously Mikolenko to Robertson's fine. But I mean, do Everton's fixtures even get better? Let me have a little look. They've got Bournemouth at home, so you'll probably want him next week. But then they've got Villa away. But I mean, after that, you're probably going to want Mikolenko for this ridiculous run. They've got Leicester, Palace, Ipswich, Fulham, Southampton, West Ham, Brentford. So. I mean, I'd probably just play him, to be fair. I don't think you need to get rid of him at all. But then again, Everton defence has taken a bit of a hit with injuries and stuff like that. Haaland or Salah captain? Have both. Haaland. In simple terms, you bitched out. We'll revisit this. If he goes and blanks, we'll revisit this, and then you'll look a little bit silly. Kwanzaa 4.4, me and Bark on the bench. Should I wait? What's your other... Well, I mean, I'm assuming you only have 2 playing defenders, and I'd probably get rid of me just to bring in a 4.5 mil defender like Robinson or something like that. Last year I triple captain Haaland against Fulham. It was my first year, so I got so lucky. Definitely waiting for the double game week. I don't agree with people that Aston Villa will drop off because of Champions League. I think with the depth they brought in, they will be 5th. Or what do you think? Yeah, I mean, look, only time will tell, but at the same time, Villa are a very good squad. They've got a very good manager. They have lost certain players like Douglas Luiz, etc. But they, like you say, they have also brought in quite a few players. They've definitely strengthened their squad. I think they'll do well this season. Yeah, I think they will. Make sure to subscribe though, guys, if you haven't already. We're very close to 12,000 subscribers. Want to hit that before the international break would be kind of cool. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. It is completely free. It does help out. I always go live with all the FPL content during the week and stuff. I'll probably start doing wildcard drafts from next week onwards as well, because I feel like a few people are probably going to start playing the wildcards soon. Always like going over wildcards and stuff. Always like going over wildcards. If you had Watkins, would you ride out Game Week 2? Yeah, for sure. Like after Game Week 2, Watkins' fixtures are ridiculous. I know there's obviously Champions League and stuff that will come soon, but he's definitely not a player I would be getting rid of this week, no. And especially with the fact that, like, we've only had one game week. You know, it's not like the fixtures came out of nowhere. I feel like a lot of people had a long time to decide to put certain players in the team, and if you put Watkins in your team, then you knew he had Arsenal Game Week 2. It's not come out of nowhere, so I feel like you've already made the decision that you would have to just play him in that game week. And it's not even like a terror. Look, it's a tough fixture, but it's at home. It's not like it's at the Emirates, and Villa are notoriously good against Arsenal, so I'd definitely be like playing him this week, yeah, for sure. I just don't know whether to play Smith Rowe or Nkunku, man. It's such a horrible position to be in, because both are a bit of a minutes risk, but I think Smith Rowe is much more likely to start. Well, Garnacho does start, and Fernandez starts as well. So for everybody talking about Garnacho, he has been confirmed to start. He has been confirmed to start. So if you do have Garnacho, that might make your life a little bit easier. They're the only team leaks we've had so far, though. Garnacho starting. And Bruno Fernandes. But I mean, Bruno Fernandes was a bit of a given. My defense is Trent, Kwanzaa, Robinson, and Aina. Already made Solanke to Muniz. What to do? Do you think Aina will play? I think he was spotted in training, so he should be fine. What's your other defender? I'm assuming a 4-mil defender. But yeah, I'd probably just start Trent, Robinson, and Aina. I mean, apparently he was in training and stuff, so he should be fine. But that's just from the training. That's just from the training photos. We shall see, though. We shall see. But it's probably not worth, like, taking a hit. For. I never like taking a hit for defenders. Because it feels like most of the time what they offer is a clean sheet. Unless they're incredibly attacking, like Trent and stuff. It just looks so weird having 3 Fulham players, man. I just never thought I'd be in a position where I own 3 Fulham players, and I'm starting all of them. Maybe I just play on Nkunku. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how Smith Rowe played in the first fixture. I didn't watch it. So I don't know. No more team leaks, though. Just Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes. Start on Nkunku or Murphy. I think I'd back Murphy this week, you know. I think I'd back Murphy. The only reason he got subbed early last week was obviously because of the red card. I think he's fine to... I mean, it is Bournemouth away, though, isn't it? Bournemouth or Wolves away. They're both away fixtures, aren't they? Yeah, I'd probably just do Murphy. There's no guarantee Nkunku starts, you know. That's why I'm going to... I think I'm going to start Smith Rowe. I think I've convinced myself now. We've got like 55 minutes to the deadline, so I could easily decide it again, but yeah. That's what I'd do. That's what I'd do. I was one who doesn't own Haaland. Any tips for coping mentally after realizing Haaland scored his 5th goal plus 2 assists in the afternoon? Cheers. I mean, it's one of those things, like, you just kind of have to back the decision, you know. You went into the game week, you went into the season with, I'm assuming Salah, and I'm assuming he had a very good game week 1, right? I'm assuming he had a very good game week 1. I'm assuming you're in Salah, Trent, probably an Arsenal defender, stuff like that. you kind of knew going into it that obviously you're gonna not have him for this week. But yeah, it's just one of those situations. We're just gonna have to hide behind the sofa, man. Just hope that he doesn't do anything. Would you play Rodgers or Nkunku? I'd probably play Nkunku over Rodgers this week, but yeah, that's that would be my decision. That'd be my decision. I feel like I made a mistake using my free hit already. Do you think it will be okay if I use my other chips for double game week and blank game weeks? I mean, it might be a little bit early to play a free hit. It's one of those situations. Like, I'm assuming you played it to get Haaland in and stuff, but at the same time, it's one of those things that you knew you would have had to deal with in game week 2. I'm no Haaland, no regrets. Yeah, I mean, look, if you're, I'd be scared if I don't own him this week, but that's just because of how highly he's going to be owned. You know, if he ends up doing nothing this week, then it's been an absolute masterclass, you know, from the people that didn't go with him, because you've got all the Salah points. And Salah might even outscore him this week as well. I'm assuming you're going Salah captaincy. I mean, like, Brentford at home is not a bad fixture. Obviously, it's not as good as Ipswich at home, but obviously, you know, City don't have Rodri. They didn't really look up to it as much as they have. I feel like they didn't. I know they just beat Chelsea, but I feel like they didn't hit the ground running like past seasons. But we'll see. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he does. When do City play? Yeah, City play later. So we might even get early. We might even get early team news for a few of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. To be fair, I really hope we get Fulham team news. I wish Chelsea played today. It would make my life a lot easier. But obviously Liverpool are the last fixture of the game week as well. So if you don't captain Haaland and you go against him, and he blanks today, then the rest of the game week is going to feel like incredible, because you'll have Salah to come last day of the game week, last match of the game week, should I say? But yeah, we might get early team news for these. We were already getting early team news for this game. Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes confirmed to be starting, so that's good news if you're a Garnacho owner. I mean, like, Garnacho should start most fixtures, right? Do you think the other chips will be good for double and blank game weeks, though? I mean, bench boost is always useful for doubles. I mean, I free hitted last season, and it was probably the best thing I've ever done in FPL, because I brought in Ben White, I brought in Mateta, I brought in Elise, I brought in Eze, I brought in like Ødegaard. Like, they all just popped off. I had a ridiculous week. It got me from like 15k to like 3k in the world, but I got like the free hit in the double game week is, in my opinion, so much better than the blank. I just feel like the points potential is so much higher. And, you know, I went into I think it was like, what, it was like 29 or something. It was a big blank last season. I think I only had like 8 players playing, but it couldn't have gone better, because I think a lot of people had like a defender that got like a red card, and everybody brought him on the free hit, so that was really good. And then I also had Bowen like the week before, who went and scored a hat-trick, so it kind of all like just went my way. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does, but morning now. Nkunku versus ESR headache is a real one. I share that same headache, man. I don't know what to do. I'm backing Smith Rowe a bit more, just because Nkunku has played 2 fixtures, got hooked before 60 both games, and has played midweek. To be fair, Ipswich looked pretty decent against Liverpool, so we mustn't lose hope all without Haaland. No, for sure. I mean, there's no guarantee that he's going to bang. It's just, obviously, that was at home. This time, they're going to the Etihad, so they're probably the worst place to go in the season. Have the same ESR versus Nkunku dilemma. If Palmer doesn't start, we may be benching a penalty taker. Yeah, I mean, if I own Palmer, I wouldn't be too worried this week. Like, he did obviously have that hamstring issue, but he said the manager said he was fine. They checked him, he was fine, everything like that. So I wouldn't worry too much. But yeah, if he doesn't start, I'll be kicking myself, because I'll have a penalty, because he will obviously take the pens. So would you not worry with Garnacho over ESR? I mean, there's a difference in price, isn't it? Isn't Garnacho 6.5? So it's obviously a whole mil extra. If I wouldn't transfer a Smith Rowe to him now. No, definitely not. But yeah, I don't think we'll get early Chelsea news because obviously they kick off tomorrow. So I would love Fulham news because if for whatever reason Smith Rowe is benched, then obviously I'll just play on Kunku. I kind of want to know how much Haaland is triple captain though, because it might even be the situation. I don't think it's going to be over 200%, but because usually with triple captaincy, like it's usually over 200%, so you're like you don't actually want him to score. But yeah, I've not decided ESR or Nkunku. I'm siding more to ESR just because it's the home fixture, and I think he will get more minutes than Nkunku. But in my opinion, ESR over Nkunku should be a no-brainer. From what we've seen, I don't think one has much over the other, so you have to go with you just have to go with the fixture. Yeah, I mean obviously that you'd like to think Nkunku's playing in the better squad as well, but I don't know. I feel like I think Fulham are going to do okay this season. Get Anthony. Couldn't be getting him less. Could not be getting him less. We have the exact same starting 11. That's crazy. Do we actually? Wait, do you have Nkunku on the bench as well then? Trent for a -4, Robinson. Trent for -4, Robinson or roll and start Mikolenko or Konza. Wait, Trent for -4, Robinson. You'd be getting rid of Trent for Robinson? Wait, am I reading that wrong, Flying Oreo? Why would you get rid of Trent for a -4 for Robinson? No, no, your bench is Rodgers, Gabriel, and Barco. Right, okay, I see. You're probably doing better than me then, in terms of points, because obviously you would have had Gabriel last week. I look like George Clarkey. Wait, is he the one on the Chris MD videos? Because I get that I look like Chris MD a lot. I've had George Clarkey like once before, but I get Chris MD a lot. Yeah, only off of him. Are you triple captaining Haaland? Not triple captaining Haaland, no. I like him as an option, honestly. Like, maybe Leicester at home might be better. I'm not sure. Southampton might be better, but yeah, Ipswich at home is a. If you're going to go for a single game week, this one could be it. Do I bring in Trent for -4? Oh, okay. Or use free transfer to get Robinson or roll. I mean, I probably wouldn't take a hit to bring Trent in. I'd probably just use a free transfer to get Robinson in this week. What's your other defense though? Mikolenko, Konza, and who? I'd probably play Konza over Mikolenko this week, just because it's the home fixture, and they're in a better defense than obviously Everton. It is an unusual situation to be I don't know, be able to celebrate his goals in a week where so many people will use triple captain. It has made me lean towards not using the chip until later. Thoughts on Liam Delap as a Solanke replacement? Fixtures look good after this week. I think Muniz and Wood are probably better options because you get an immediate impact because they both have good fixtures this week. As of now, I have Guardiola, Konza, and Anderson starting. I mean, Anderson won't play. I mean, Anderson probably won't play. I'd probably transfer Anderson out for Robinson or something. Yeah, it's a bit of a sideways move, but I don't think Anderson will start this week. Who would you start out of Chris Wood and Nkunku? Probably Chris Wood because I mean, he should get 90. I mean, a 1 you can always play. Should I start Wood or ESR? Probably ESR, just because it's the home fixture and Fulham are a better squad than Forest. Robinson or Rico Lewis for a -4. Do you have to do a -4? What's your team looking like? I don't think a -4 for a defender is really worth it this week. I definitely wouldn't take a hit for Lewis because he's just going to be a benching headache soon regardless. Probably Harwood Bellis, Josh, if those are your only options. Like, Winks is going to be playing very deep. He's a CDM. I mentioned a new player. He did Nkunku to Kovacic on Monday. He now has to play one of Archer, Trippier, Solanke, Castagna, or take a hit. Your thoughts? Well, Solanke won't play. Trippier won't play. Probably just play Castagna, right? Castagna played in the first game week, right? I didn't really have a look. Castagna. No, he didn't play. Interesting. I don't know then. Yeah, you may have to. You may have loads of players that just aren't playing there then. You may have loads of players that just aren't playing. Robinson or Rico Lewis for -4 instead of Barco. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably... It just sounds like you don't have any playing defenders, right? Girlfriend has a tricky situation. Salah only draft, owns Isak and Muniz, priced out of Havertz. Only bench cover is Wink. Seems no options and better to hold a week to make a better move. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much worth making a transfer. You might just have to deal with the fact that... wait, is she going to have to play Winks this week then? Or should I take a hit to get Anthony and Maguire? I mean, I'd advise to not do that, but hey, it's your team, bro. Thoughts on Derby County? Well, as a Forest fan, I feel like it goes unsaid. I don't need to. I don't really need to. You know, I feel like no words need to be spoken about that. I don't even know how they're doing this season. How are they doing? I know that they had I think they lost the first week, didn't they? I think they won the second though. I want to waste the transfer on him, so I think on the first week it's fine. So Robinson should be a good replacement for the long term, and since I have the money, what do you think? Yeah, I mean, Robinson's got... Fulham have got really nice fixtures coming up. You know, they've got Leicester, Ipswich, and West Ham. They've got 2 promoted teams in the next 3 weeks. Newcastle at home, obviously not ideal, but then they've got Forest. And, yeah, I mean, most people are probably going to be wildcarding around game week 6-ish anyway, game week 7-ish. So when they do have City and then Villa, etc., you can just get rid of them all. So I'm probably going to be wildcarding around... I don't know, maybe 6-ish, I'm not sure. I start Eze and Smith Rowe and Jota and Saka. Should I start Rodgers or bring a forward then Solanke? Well, yeah, I mean, Solanke's definitely not playing, so if you have a transfer and you've got nothing... I mean, if you've got decent bench cover, then just bench Solanke, but if you need to get rid of him, then I'd probably bring in Muniz or Wood or something like that. Who do I think will be relegated? I think... Well, I mean... Depends. If City get their points deduction that they deserve, then probably them. But I think Leicester will probably get that points deduction, so they'll go down. It might just be the 3 teams that came up, to be fair. I don't really know who else looks super shaky. I mean, Everton, their squad is very old, and they also have potential kind of more sort of money issues and stuff for points deduction. So I think Everton might go down as well. As a Forest fan, do you prefer Wood or a Awoniyi? Not FPL related. Awoniyi, definitely, man. He's just very injury prone. Awoniyi's been so good for us. I feel like if he kept fit the last 2 seasons, we wouldn't have been struggling for staying in the league, because we just missed his goals, man. And Wood has helped us out, but I just don't think he's crazy clinical. I think Awoniyi is just a much better option. But obviously we're bringing in another striker, so we should be bringing in another striker anyway. So. You think Rodgers' minutes are safe long term? I mean, how long term are we speaking? I think for now he's fine. But obviously when Champions League comes and stuff like that, it's obviously going to shake the boat a little bit. What's your favourite ever football game? Mine is 2014 Derby 5-0 Forest. I was a fan when Derby got to the playoff final and lost. That was a good game. I enjoyed that one. I also enjoyed the game where we got to the Premier League final, to the playoff final and won. 4 out of 5 game weeks. 4 to 5 game weeks, he might drop off 3rd, 4th, 5th game week, but I think for the next few weeks should be okay. Aina or Gabriel? I play Gabriel this week. Might to Eze for a hit. I mean, it might get leaked if he's starting or not. The only players that have been leaked so far are Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes. So I'd just probably wait on early team news. If you don't know if he's going to start, I don't know if it's really worth a hit. I mean, what's the rest of your team looking like? Who do I prefer, Man United or Man City? Do they have to be the only options? I don't know. I like the City players more, but the club in general, obviously, I don't know. Maybe it's just because we got a points deduction straight away, and City have dodged it for ages. So it's a little bit it's a bit salty about it, a bit sour about it. But I mean, we can all agree that City, there's some sort of corruption going on. And then United, I just hate the players. I really hate the players, like Anthony. I'm not a fan of Bruno Fernandes. I don't know, man. They just rub me the wrong way. There's not a lot of United players that I like, so I don't like either of them basically. Konza or Dunk? I probably play. Is it at Old Trafford this week or is it at Brighton? It's it's at home. I don't know, man. I kind of backed Brighton this week against United. United didn't look great against thingy. I'd probably back Brighton this week, you know. Early kickoff though. Gandhi does say don't pack the early kickoff. So, who do you captain between Son and Eze? Probably Son. Everton's defense looks a little bit leaky this season. Do you not have Salah or Haaland though? Morning. Should I start João Pedro or an Arsenal defender? I always back the forward. I'd go João Pedro on penalties. Should start. We might get early team news anyway, so it should be fine. Do I sell Trippier? Yeah, I don't think Trippier is going to be an option this season. I don't know what you're talking about. I have Trippier in my team and he's 6 mil. Who should I play and sell him for 11? Yeah, I'd get rid of Trippier. I mean, he's not gonna. He's already gone down in price, hasn't he? He's 5.9 now. I just think it's a shame he didn't get rid of him before because you would have brought in Guardiola or someone for him. Do I triple captain or just wait? I mean, that only you can make that decision. It's a very good single game week to captain him in, to triple captain him in. But obviously, if it goes wrong, you've got the emotional damage of going 36 game weeks without a triple captaincy chip. Is Diogo Jota a good shout for captain? I'm not very confident with Palmer captain against Wolves away. No Salah. Do you not have Haaland either? You don't have Salah or Haaland? I mean, Jota can easily outscore Salah this week. You know, I think they'll both start. I think Salah will get more minutes, but I think Jota will get the majority of the game. Start Burn or Robinson? Robinson. Shall I keep Alanga, start Rodgers, or bring in Smith Rowe for Alanga? I mean, Alanga should be fine. The manager said he obviously had like a bit of a knock or something, but I think the manager said he should be okay. I think anyway, let me double check. I think that... I'm pretty sure the manager said he was okay. I mean, Alanga's so good for us, man. I love Alanga. I think we got an absolute steal of a... We got him for so cheap. Yeah, Alanga, apparently fine. I'd probably just play Alanga. Got a good fixture. No Haaland, no Son. Jeez, man. Yeah, I mean, just back Jota then. There's not really anyone else. I mean, I'd prefer Palmer just because he's the penalty taker. But... It says he has an eye injury, but that could mean anything. An eye injury? An eye injury? What does that even mean? Is it like he's got conjunctivitis or something? Or he's got like a black eye? Like, that could be anything. I mean, it depends. Anything kicks. I feel like with Solanke out, is Richarlison going to start in the middle? Is Kulusevski going to start in the middle? Because then obviously it's usually Johnson and Kulusevski fighting for that right wing spot, aren't they? I don't know what was Johnson's minutes like. He played 77. Kulusevski, he came on as a sub, didn't he? And he played 11 minutes. I mean, look, as a Forest fan, I'm always going to back Johnson. But you don't know how Spurs are going to... they don't know how they're going to set up. You don't know how they're going to set up. Do you like Mainu? Not for FPL, but do you like him? Yeah, mate, I feel like he was solid in the Euros. I'm a big fan of Mainu. He's like one of the only United players I like. I really, really like Mainu. I think he's got a massive future ahead of him. I have Jacob Murphy. Do you think he's the best Newcastle mid right now? Because I think he's very explosive. How would you rate him? Yeah, I think he's a solid option. The only reason he got subbed early last week was because of the Shaw red card. I don't think that needs... Look, you got really unlucky if you played him last week. But I think he's a solid option. I think he's fine. Start White or Robinson? Probably start Ben White, to be fair. I mean, Arsenal do have... I don't know, it's a tough fixture. Yeah, I'd probably still go White. I'd still go White. But it's very close. Because obviously Robinson, Leicester at home, very nice fixture. Villa away. It might just be a coin flip, you know. Might just have to flip that coin. Because it's very close. Both could concede, both could keep a clean sheet. Obviously, they're both relatively attacking, so. Make sure to subscribe as well, guys, if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 12k before Game Week 3. And we're like, what, less than 200 subs away? So if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. Thoughts on Triple Captain Haaland this week? Yeah, solid option. I'm not doing it because the emotional damage of him blanking and having to deal with it for 36 game weeks is kind of putting me off a little bit, but he's not a terrible option at all this week. I think Muniz is the best lanky replacement. Yeah, I agree. Because it's not even like that. Like, obviously, Chris Wood and Muniz both have good fixtures this week. Muniz, I think, is the better fixture just because it's at home. But as well as that, Chris Wood's fixtures do get a little bit shaky. We do play Chelsea and Liverpool soon, both away. Whereas Muniz has some pretty nice fixtures for like the next 3 or 4. Gordon or Nkunku, I'd go Gordon. In trouble because I have both Kwanzaa and Barco, so in trouble because I've lost 0.1. What's your other defense? I respectfully gave you some time off to rethink about the triple captain decision, and I hope you now have come back to your real sense here. I'm respectfully forcing you to do so. I'm going down, you two. I'm not in the sinking ship, man. Dude, it's a good option. Don't get me wrong, and it could easily be a massive play. Not gonna lie, triple captain and bench booth never works for me, and I'm a top 100k player. You're triggering it now. Wait, you're going triple captaincy? Bruno or Eze? I mean, Bruno is confirmed to start. He's on penalties. But so is Eze. I think Eze has the better fixture this week. I think Brighton will play really well against United today. I think Brighton win this game against United. But yeah, I'd probably back Eze. Do I like Sidemen? I don't really watch them, no. They're not really aimed towards me though. Like I'm not really like that's not. I mean, I've watched a couple of their videos, but I don't like watch it every Sunday or anything like that. Maybe like one video every 6 months. Decided to leave captaincy choice to random wheel. Got Palmer over Jota and Wood. Brilliant. I'm surprised Wood was even on that wheel, but yeah, I would go Palmer anyway. Do you think Bruno will still cook in game week 2? I think Brighton will win today. Nothing has come out yet, Jedi, but obviously it's still very early, isn't it? So, yeah, I think so. Can't play as a false 9 though. What to do with Barco? You don't really have to do anything with Barco. His price is locked. You don't have to. It's not like a Kwanzaa situation where his price was going to go down, so you had to kind of like transfer out early. I think Barco is fine until you wildcard. Like, yeah, he's just going to be deadwood on your bench. You're not going to, but you weren't going to be playing him anyway, really, were you? Like until like game week 4 or 5 when they've got like Forest and stuff. Yeah, he's just going to get rid of him when you wildcard. He's not going to lose you any money, so you don't have to worry about him. Bench Smith Rowe or João Pedro. I'd probably play Pedro just because he's got penalties, but we hopefully get early team news about it. So we're kind of waiting. The only early team news we've had is that Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes are both starting. So we've had nothing from Brighton, and the only United leaks that we've had of that. Who has a better future, Mainu or Garnacho? In terms of what? In terms of like international career or just career in general? I mean, I can't see either of them leaving United for a while. The last triple captain work was KDB before Haaland came to City. He scored 4 against Wolves. That's a pro play. That's a pro play. I think my best ever triple captaincy was Gundogan in the double game week. I think he got like a brace in the first game, but then he got like injured. But he's still like, that was still my best one. Usually my triple captaincy is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I remember my first ever season. Where I obviously didn't really know much about FPL and stuff. And I was like, I got 244,000 in the world, which isn't terrible for your first season. But this season, I remember City beat somebody like 9-0 or something, and I triple captained Aguero, and he got like 1 assist. And I was like, you're taking the piss. I was like, that is... And that was a single game week. City won 8 or 9-0. I just remember the goals going in, and I couldn't believe that Aguero picked up like 1 assist. I was devastated. I was like, there's no way I've dodged like loads of points there. The last triple cap. Oh, I doubt Brighton will score against United. But like, why? Like United don't look great. They didn't look great in the first fixture. But I think United is still going to be a little bit rocky. But obviously, new manager and everything for Brighton, isn't it? And they did just get a pretty nice result, didn't they? So, morning, mate. How you doing, Monkey? Good to see you, bro. Because Maguire started. They've brought in a lot of new players, haven't they, United? They need to got to gel everyone, haven't they? Last 30 minutes before the deadline, though, chat. Make sure to decide now if you're going to be triple captaining Haaland. Don't let it be like a spur of the moment, last minute, boom. You know, make sure you're well in advance and make sure you back that choice as well. Gundogan might even play. I kind of want Gundogan to play tomorrow, you know. He's such a good player, man. I love Gundogan. So happy he's back. Is Vandenberg for Kwanzaa a good move? I think there's better options for Kwanzaa, personally. I think Robinson is a better shout. Who is triple captaining Haaland? Who is triple captaining Haaland? Can we get some... just get some yeses in the chat if you're triple captaining Haaland. It'd be interesting to see how many people are triple captaining Haaland this week. Because it's not like... It's not a bad shout at all, man. Just looking for early team news, man. And we're not really getting much lately. The only one, obviously, was the United news again. Start Gabriel or Lewis Hall? I'd probably start Hall. Thoughts on Armstrong over João Pedro? I prefer Pedro, but I'd like to think we'll get some early team news about him. Because obviously the early kickoff. Triple captaining Doku. Triple captaining Doku. That is against the run of play. That is against the run of play. That is an interesting one. I don't know if I'd do that. I don't know if I'd do that. Do I think Aina plays with Forest? I think he should be fine. Yeah, I think he was seen in training. Last week, just before the deadline, I took Solanke out for a 4.5 forward and upgraded 4.5 to Eze and sells to Pope. That worked out like no tomorrow. Jeez, dude. What are the lottery numbers, man? Absolute pro play. Will Arsenal win the league? I mean, I don't know. They've got a good chance. They've got a good chance. No triple captaincy this week. Prefer to triple captain midfielders as more upsides. Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, I always prefer triple captaining in double game weeks as well. Sells or Henderson. I mean, I think Sells probably a better option this week. Southampton away. It's not a terrible fixture, is it? Doku surprised me, to be honest. Yeah, Doku, I just don't think he really works with Haaland that well, though. I don't know. I feel like Grealish works a lot better with Haaland. What do you think of Henderson since Crystal Palace has lost their main defender to Fulham? Their defense seems different because I think West Ham might just win the game. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, as a Robinson owner, it was nice to see Anderson go to Fulham because obviously it's just better clean sheet potential for them. As a Henderson owner, it was a bit annoying. But you think Forest will win the league? I'll take it. Bro, if Forest win the league, then I don't even know. If we do a Leicester 2016 situation, then absolute limbs. Absolute limbs. The only two keepers I trust are Pope and Raya. Yeah, I mean, Raya, I think, will be the keeper to own this season. He'll get you into that Arsenal defence for a lot cheaper. I may even bring Raya in on a wild card, to be fair. I don't know. I think just the set and forget might be a good option. It's just a mil extra. It's like, where do you find that mil from? Especially if you wanted to bring in, like, other players. So, yeah, I don't know. I think at the moment, Henderson's fine. But yeah, we'll see how they... Especially if they sell Gay as well. If they sell Gay, then obviously it's going to be a bit more interesting. I think Sells keeps his place long term, or do you think Miguel comes in eventually? Yeah, and this is why I didn't really go for a Forest keeper, because I just don't know. I think it depends. If we start conceding a lot of, like, set piece sort of goals... I mean, I feel like he's been brought in because of all the set piece sort of goals we have been conceding. So, I don't think that... I think he'll be fine for the what? I think he'll be fine for now. I think there's a bit more competition though. I think if he starts having a few bad games, then they might change him around. Solanke to Zoxy or Gooden to Eze. I think Gordon to Eze is a bit sideways. I don't think you need to do that. I'd rather sell Solanke and bring in somebody like Muniz or Wood. Should I take a -4 to sell Barco for Dunk in order to have save some team value? Thanks to the streams as always. No, I wouldn't do that. Barco won't go down in price. His price is locked. When players leave the league, their price locks. So don't worry about team value with Barco because he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Which Spurs player would you go for in attacking wise? I mean, the best Spurs player to own, I think, is Son, but I just don't really like Spurs fixtures coming up. They've got Newcastle and then Arsenal away, so I only really wanted a Spurs player for the first 2 fixtures. Anna to Lewis Hall. I don't think you need to do that. I think that's a bit sideways. I don't know why people have Nkunku. Terrible pick. Won't get massive points and he's on your bench. Terrible use of funds and hard pick. Well, he's on my bench because, I mean, if you take a look at his Bundesliga record, he's been ridiculous, you know, and obviously he was very injury prone the last season, so I don't think he's a horrible pick at all. And I think he will come good. It's just obviously with the amount of players that they have and the amount of forwards they have, obviously his minutes is a bit more of a risk. But yeah, the only reason he's on my bench is because I think Smith Rowe gets more minutes, and I back the home fixture against Leicester this week. Nkunku might pop off this week, especially if Palmer doesn't play. Then I'll be kicking myself because Nkunku will take penalties. Any more team leaks? Kulusevski starts for Spurs, which is interesting. He's going to be starting up front apparently, according to leaked lineups. So if you're thinking about bringing in somebody, a midfielder, Kulusevski does start up front for Spurs. So we are getting some 3 o'clock leaks. Is it 3 players from Fulham? Is it workable? I don't like it any more than you, but I think for this week it's fine. Leicester at home. Tends to do Aina to Robinson makes sense. I don't think you need to do that. I think Aina should be fine. Do you feel scared going into Game Week 2 without Salah? I definitely feel more scared not having Haaland. And I know that Jota doesn't cover Salah, but he's a good option. And there's not really any other City players that cover Haaland. Like Jota can potentially... Like Jota can easily outscore Salah this week. Just depends how it goes. Like Diaz might pop off for Liverpool this week. He obviously had a really good pre-season. Start on Nkunku or Wood? Probably Chris Wood, just because he's more nailed. Triple captain Haaland, worth it or no? I mean, it's how you feel really. I always like doing double game weeks, but it's not a bad single game week to do it in at all. Should I start Konza or Mikolenko? Thanks for the content. I'd probably start Konza this week. Mitoma is extremely underrated in FPL, and I'm surprised at that because he was a really good option last season. I went into last season with Mitoma. He didn't outscore Mbumo, but he was still getting points. And I really liked Mitoma as an option last season. Yeah. Start Gabriel or João Pedro? João Pedro. I mean, hopefully we get some early team news about him. But yeah, I'd always back the attacker over a defender. Unless, obviously, Arsenal had a good fixture, but they don't. So. Thoughts on my team? What's your team? Pope, Munoz, Faze, Trent, Eze, Saka, Jota, Morgan, Gibbs, Wyatt, Gordon, Isak, and Haaland. Thoughts on my starting team? It's not terrible. Is there no other defender you can play instead of the Leicester player there? What should I do with my Castagna, Aina, and Johnson as my other 3 defenders? I mean, I'd probably... I mean, Aina should play. Johnson and Castagna are a little bit less likely. I mean, Johnson's got City away anyway, so you really want to be playing him. And Castagna was obviously benched. I mean, what's your other defenders? Because I just play Iron and you're the 2 defenders. I don't think you need to do anything with that, really. I think you're fine. Walker has posted something on Instagram that looks like he's starting. So if you did bring in Rico Lewis, I'd be a bit worried. But yeah, the only early team leak news we've had is that Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho starts, and then Kulusevski starts up top for Spurs. That's all we've had so far. Cons are facing Arsenal though, but he's good fixtures from next week. Yeah, but I'd still play Konza over somebody like FaZe or something like that. I really think that Fulham will not keep a clean sheet against Leicester. Don't get why everyone needed a Fulham defender. It's not just this week, it's the weeks after as well. Like, they've got nice fixtures after game week 2. Like, obviously next week they've got, what is it, Ipswich away? And then West Ham at home. Like, that it's just something to not worry about for a few weeks. And if I do wildcard in like game week 6, then obviously I'll just offload them doing that. Want to bench Wood, Nkunku, Smith Rowe, or Murphy? Probably bench. Probably Nkunku, to be fair. Why Smith Rowe over Nkunku? I just don't back his minutes, man. I think that he's played twice this season. He's been hooked before 60 in both games, and he's played midweek. I just think that, and Wolves away is not even an easy fixture. You know, Wolves away is it's not a fixture that I like need a player for. I mean, they obviously played Arsenal first game of the season, so there's not really a lot to go off from that. But they didn't. I mean, they didn't offer a lot against Arsenal, but that's just because Arsenal's the best defense in the league. I think Chelsea are different, and I just think Leicester at home is a much better fixture. Take a hit to get rid of Solanke, or just play Nkunku with Solanke in the bench? Oh yeah, I'd just play Nkunku. I wouldn't take a hit. If you've got Nkunku on the bench, just play him instead. 18 minutes until deadline, though, ladies and gents. Still no early team news, though. Nothing at all, nothing at all. I feel like we're getting less early team news, I don't know. I feel like by this time, we usually get a few more kind of leaks. 3-4-3, same mid and forwards as yours, but defense, Alex, Porro, Robinson, and on bench, Burn, what should I do? I mean, I don't. Same mid and forward as you, Alex, Porro, Robinson. Wait, that's my defense as well, though. What? You just play Trent, Porro, and Robinson. That's what I'm doing. That's a really good defense this week. A lot of people are captaining Haaland over Salah as well. 2% going for Son. 4% going for... Geez, Haaland is going to be very... I mean, to be fair, Haaland is still... I mean, he's only 54% owned. So just... Basically, 1 in 2 FPL teams own him. Just over. Watkins against Arsenal or Callum Hudson-Odoi versus Southampton? I think I'd back Hudson-Odoi, you know. He's been very, very good for his pre-season. Henderson, Robinson, Hogg, Vardiol, Smith Rowe, Salah, Jota, and Nkunku, Haaland, Isaac, Muniz. Your opinion? Yeah, it's a strong team. What? You definitely don't need to change anything about that. That's a really good team. That's a very, very good team. I'm jealous of that team. That's a very good team. You've got Salah and Haaland, and yeah, solid. Are we going to get a second free hit? No. The only reason we got a free hit like a few seasons ago was because of the pandemic. That's the only reason. We get 2 wildcards. If you're mistaking it with wildcards. Is it advisable to get a Brentford attacker against Liverpool, which seems tricky? Why would you be getting a Brentford attacker against Liverpool? You want to be bringing in a Brentford attacker from game week 6 onwards. When they've got West Ham, Wolves, United, Ipswich, Fulham, Bournemouth. Like, this is... Especially if Tony goes, and then Mbeumo is going to be ridiculous from game week 6 onwards. It's going to be so good from game week 6 onwards. Bench one of Gibbs White, João Pedro, or Ødegaard. That's tough, man. That's very tough. I think I'd bench... I think I'd bench Gibbs White. He was on penalties, though. It'd be Gibbs White or Odegaard. I'd probably play Pedro, unless we get early team news. I mean, if we get early team news that Pedro is benched, then obviously that's great, because then you just know not to play him, but... I don't know. That's a tough one, though. That's 3 players that you'd want to start. Is there no one else that you can play? I make it 3 Fulham players, same as you. Yeah, I don't like the idea of playing 3 Fulham players, but I just back Smith Rowe over Nkunku this week. I went Aina to Lewis Hall. Have I messed up? I don't think you messed up. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Oh, my bad. I've Salah, Haaland, Saka, and I have to downgrade to Kwanzaa, Barco, and Solanke. What do I do? As in, you have to downgrade one of Kwanzaa, Barco, or Solanke? I'd probably just get rid of Solanke. Morgan Gibbs White needs to step up if Forest are going to stay up. Yeah, I think he will. He is a talisman. He's just he didn't really do much preseason as well, which is a little. I mean, he's on penalties as well, so it's always nice. Having a penalty taker is always nice, because even if they play terrible all game, they can literally go and get a lucky penalty and score it, and then get like bonus points. Still no other early team news, and we're going into the last 13 minutes before deadline. We shall see. We shall see if we get any more team leaks. Hopefully we do. Thank you guys for 50 likes as well. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We do go live with these deadline streams every week. Can Ipswich ruin the City clean sheet? I hope so. I really, really hope so. I don't have any City defenders. I'd love Ipswich to score. I would absolutely love Ipswich to score. I feel like if you've got Gvardiol this week, it's kind of guaranteed though that you're going to get a clean sheet. It's just, I don't know. I feel like the City are going to win like 4-0 today, and that would be like on the low side. It could easily be like a 6-0. You don't know. Thoughts on Mikalenko versus Spurs? I don't really back Everton's defense even against a bad team. I think they'll concede quite a few. They've just got quite a few injuries and stuff. Start Murphy or Smith Rowe? Probably Smith Rowe. I'd ideally like to start both of them though. But do you think Mateta is a good replacement for Solanke or Muniz? I think Muniz is the best Solanke replacement, 100%. I think so. Yeah, I've read all that. Oh, Captain Salah, even though I got Haaland, thoughts? I mean, if you want to. I mean, it's less damaging because you own both Haaland and Salah. I feel like, obviously, a lot of people that have Salah don't have Haaland, and so kind of that's what people are worried about. But obviously, it's not as damaging if you own them both, because you're still at least getting some of his points. But I think Haaland is the clear captain this week. Thoughts on Mateta for a Solanke replacement? I think Muniz is the better replacement. Should I start Ahmad or Rodgers? Well, we haven't had early team news about Ahmad yet, so unless we get something. Doesn't look like it. I don't know. Doesn't look like anything yet. Still waiting. Which team do I support? I support Forest. Support Nottingham Forest. The last 10 minutes of the deadline chat. What's going to happen? Any more team news? I really need some Fulham team news, man. I mean, I'm very hopeful that Smith Rowe start anyway, but it's just a flip of a coin between Nkunku or Smith Rowe. Do I play Smith Rowe? Do I play Nkunku? I don't know. Nkunku or João Pedro? I'll probably go João Pedro over Nkunku just because he's on penalties. Just don't know How confident are you in people's Haaland's trip? In triple captain Haaland? Yeah, I mean, it's a good shout. I don't think it's a bad option at all. Thoughts on Chris Wood for the foreseeable future? I think if we sign another striker, which we most likely are going to, I don't think he's going to be a great option going forward. Am I all Minty? Probably Minty. I didn't know that Ahmad's mother passed away yesterday. I mean, that's not... Still nothing yet. Start 2 of Livramento, Nkunku, Robinson, and ESR. Start 2, I'd probably start Robinson and ESR, to be fair. I don't know, because you kind of play maybe Livramento and ESR. Depends if you want to play 2 from the same team or not, because sometimes that can be beneficial and sometimes it can't be. Thanks for the stream, all the best. Appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, nearly time to wrap up now. I just don't know. What would you do, chat? Smith Rowe or Nkunku? I generally don't know what to do. I'm budging more towards Smith Rowe, but justify Smith Rowe over Nkunku. Nkunku's played twice this season. He's gone off before 60 both times. He's just played midweek. Play Munoz or Robinson? Probably Munoz. Just don't know what to... Smith Rowe easy pick. I'm going to do a poll. See what you guys say. Who to play? Nkunku. I'm interested to see who you guys would pick, because I'm generally torn. ESR at home, and the reasoning you just said. Yeah. Anderson or Vestergaard? Have Robinson already in my team. I don't know if Anderson will play this week. Robinson seems like a very attacking player that showed that versus United. Yeah, I'm hopeful for him. I think he's a decent pick, yeah. Smith Rowe may be the most overrated this season. I don't think he is, though, because when he played for he's just very injury prone. That's the only issue. A lot of people are saying Smith Rowe well over Nkunku. Yeah, Smith Rowe, for me, is a minute scare. Yeah, but, I mean, Nkunku is as well. Like, Nkunku is much more of a... I think Nkunku is more of a minutes risk than Smith Rowe, to be fair. Apparently Kwanzaa did train. I don't know if that's an old photo, though, or not. I don't know. I don't know if that's like a meme or not. Smith Rowe for me is a minute scare. He's starting for me still. Yeah, I back Smith Rowe this week. And this is what I mean. This is what FPL is about, man. It's about those decisions. Am I triple captaining this week? I'm not going to triple captain this week, no. Who's my vice captain? Eze? Do I want him to be vice captain? Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I'm fine with Eze vice captain. Pick home players first. Yeah, I mean, they're playing a worse team as well. Like, Fulham aren't obviously as good as Chelsea, but they're playing, you know, a worse team. Like, Wolves are better than Leicester, I'd say as well. I don't think we're getting any more team news. I think the only team news we've had is Kulusevski starts up front for Spurs, and then obviously Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho play for starting for United. Let me just make sure I'm triple captaining this week, and I need convincing to not. I'm not going to convince you not to do it, man. I think he's a good shout this week. I just always prefer double game weeks. That's all. Let me just make sure my team's in place. Bench is in order. Yeah, okay. I think it's fine. I really wanted to have an extra transfer, man. I really didn't want to use a transfer this week. But these things happen. These things happen. Give me that early team news, man. Nothing. I mean, I don't really need the team news, to be fair. Like, it doesn't really affect me. Apart from the 3 o'clock kickoffs, but... Last 4 minutes, chat. 3 Fulham players as well. Great time to be alive. It's something I never thought I would see on my FPL team. It is something I never thought I would see on my FPL team. But this is the game. This is the game. It's not like they're playing like Villa at home or something either. It's like it's Leicester at home. It's like Leicester were not looking very good in that first half against Spurs. And the fixtures are great. So, I mean, I don't think I'm going to be playing 3 Fulham players every week. Like, I might be. Like, I mean, to be fair, they've got Ipswich away next week, so I might even play 3 again. So, it depends. Like, if Nkunku gets benched or doesn't play a considerable amount of the game today, he might even be my transfer next week. I don't know who for, but I feel like we'll be close to a Nkunku price drop. I think there's other fires that people have to put out at the moment, which is why people aren't kind of getting rid of him. But I think he could easily be getting like rid of soon. I actually need to take a picture of my team real quick. Just so I can upload it to Twitter. Fulham fixtures, that's why. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They are. They're pretty good. I mean, they're literally playing back-to-back promoted teams, so. Yeah, I don't think we're getting any more. I don't think we're getting any more leaks. Well, that's that then. Best luck this week though, chat. Hope we're all getting green arrows. Bench Kulusevski or Wood. Well, Kulusevski is starting, so he's playing up front for Spurs. So I'll probably play him over Wood. I mean, Wood's not even guaranteed to start. Like, one, you could easily start over him. You could easily start over him, but I mean, Wood should start. But same with Muniz though. I mean, like, he might not start. He most likely will, but. Any early team news? No, I don't think we're getting anything. Doesn't look like we're getting any early team news, which is fine. We're not guaranteed it. We're not guaranteed it. But yeah, I play Kulusevski over Wood. One of the only things that has been leaked is that he's starting up front for Spurs against Everton, which looked very rocky against Brighton. Minute and a half. Make sure to get your teams locked, guys. Don't leave it to the last second to know if you're going to triple captain Haaland or not. Hopefully you've already made the decision. Everton is good defending. They look a little bit shaky this season. They've got quite a few injuries as well. Have to bench Muniz or Burn? Who do you think? Oh, Burn. I'd definitely play Muniz. I'd always bench an attacker over a defender. 1 minute to go, guys. Make sure your teams are locked. Make sure your captains, your bench, everything's sorted. Would you swap Gabriel for Gvardiol? I probably wouldn't transfer him out, no. I mean, Gvardiol's got a really nice fixture, but then obviously you've got Arsenal, who's got Brighton at home next week, so. Last bit of team news. Nothing. Nope. 40 seconds left. We're about to be locked in. Yeah, captain on Haaland. Eze, Vice. I'm going to go Smith Rowe. Yeah, I'm going to go Smith Rowe over Nkunku. The chat has decided for me. 72% are saying Smith Rowe over Nkunku. The chat's decided. We're about to be locked in. Last few seconds. Any team news? No. We're about to be locked in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Locked. That's that. That is that. We should be locked in. We are locked in, ladies and gents. Best of luck with Game Week 2, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get up and go. A big thank you to everyone that came out to the stream today, though, guys. We'll be back live for the next deadline stream, which will be next week. But appreciate you all being here. I will see you all then, guys. Have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic game week. Best of luck. Harlan triple captain. Best of luck, man. Best of luck. Best of luck. If you're triple captain in fair play, best of luck, man. Because it's always risky. It's always risky. But best of luck. Hope it goes well for you. I will see you all soon, though, guys. Have a good one. And until next time,